Hi Scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back with a challenge video that Roni and I are doing together. So last year Roni and I started doing challenges. I thought it would be fun to come up with a weekly challenge with a fellow YouTuber, and Roni and I had kind of been chatting a little bit, and so we started doing challenges, I think back in October 2014. I'm not really sure. I do have a playlist that I put together with all of the challenge videos that I made that we did together. So for this one, we are going to be working with wood veneer, and here I'm just kind of going through the Craft Market collection, which I recently just purchased a lot of it, and now I'm just going through my photos. So the last challenge video that Roni and I did together was back in January, and she's been kind of busy. She's going back to school and everything, so she hasn't been able to do it, and I've actually been really busy as well. So we took a bit of a break, and she just recently contacted me and said, hey, do you want to, do this again? And so her and I, and also Jennifer Cambridge, are going to be working with wood veneer today. So I'm just kind of going through some of these old photos of my kids, and I decided to pull out these two photos and to use those on this layout. And I'm thinking that I'll do these two photos that I have here, and I'm going to cut them down, and then the rest of the photos from this photo shoot, well, not really photo shoot, but from this event that we were at, I'll do a Project Life page for. So here I'm just cutting up all of my papers, cutting off the branding strips on them, and I know immediately that I want to use this burlap. It's not actually burlap, it's not textured paper. It's like an off-white and a burlap looking paper. It's still smooth. It just looks like burlap. So I'm going to use that as my background, and then here I'm cutting up this cut apart, and there was this one that says a perfect day, and I just really liked that. The story behind these photos are, we were in Salt Lake. Jonas, my oldest son, has spina bifida, and he used to go see doctors down in Salt Lake City. We live in Idaho, and he would go once a year, sometimes twice a year, down to Salt Lake, and we would visit with his doctors, and he would get, ultrasounds and just a bunch of testing done just to make sure he's doing okay and everything. And this time was one time that we went down to Salt Lake and had rented a condo. My husband's parents were like part of a timeshare thing, and so we went with his mom, and his mom came down to help us and with the kids and everything. And behind the condo there was a hill, like a snowy hill, because it was during the winter. And so these are just some pictures that my husband took of us while we were playing in the snow there. So here I'm just kind of going through this Craft Market collection. I know it's not a new collection, but I recently just decided to go ahead and buy some of it, and I really liked these wood veneer pieces. So the hello, the arrows, and that ampersand are wood veneer pieces, and they are dipped in paint, and so I thought that was really fun. Here I'm kind of going through the pattern papers from the Craft Market collection, trying to figure out what I want to mount my photos on and do layers with. So I'm going to cut off all of these branding strips, and that paper right there is actually from the Chamel collection, and I don't remember which one it's called, but it's a blue wood grain was the pattern on it. So here I am just going to try layering the photos on these papers and figuring out which one I like the best. And I'm going to decide on this blue with the gold triangle piece in the corner there. So now I have that all cut down, and I'm just going to spend a little bit of time moving around these pieces. And here I'm thinking that I want to cut up this sheet. And this is a cut apart, and it was a specialty paper because on one side it's just the paper with the cut apart, but then the other side it had like gold embossed areas on some of the tags. So here I am cutting out this yellow tag, and I'm going to place that right there to the right of the photo. I'm going to pull out my crocodile and punch out that hole. And here I'm going to cut up this pink, I think it's a chevron, maybe it's a houndstooth, I can't remember. And I'm going to place that underneath the photo, kind of at an angle. I also cut up this confetti paper. That is actually my favorite paper from the collection. I love it. But since it was kind of the same color as the burlap, it wasn't really standing out. And so I am going to pull out this Heidi Swapp color, what is it? Ink pad. It's the teal ink pad. And I'm going to just do some inking on the edges of all of the papers. So I'm going to spend some time doing that. And I'm liking how this is looking. Oh, here I'm thinking I want to do some inking along this side of this embellishment, or this wood veneer hello. And I kind of wish that I hadn't done that because it looks kind of weird, but oh well. I'm going to try smudging it off with a baby wipe, and it doesn't come off because it's pretty much dyed the wood. So, it's okay. I still like the layout. Okay, so now here I'm thinking I'm kind of cleaning up my area because it had been really messy and I didn't clean it before I started the layout, and so it was bothering me. So here I think I'm going to start gluing the layers together, but I feel like it's still missing something, and I'm not really sure what it is. So I'm going to kind of just play around with the layers, and that bow that's up in the right hand corner right now, I'm actually going to move that to a different area. And yeah, here I'm just kind of tapping my fingers, trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm thinking that maybe I want to do some misting, but then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start putting these layers together. So I start doing that. And then I decide I want to do some gesso. So I'm going to put some gesso down there on the bottom half of the layout. And then I'm going to spray a little bit of that Heidi Swapp spray. So here I'm just kind of smushing it around on the layout. Really no, I don't know, rhyme or reason to it. I was just trying to get it down. And then I'm going to clean off my little spatula there. And I'm just going to spray a little bit here and there. Oh, I did want the background to be dry, so I'm going to dry it a little bit. And here's where I decide to put that bow there up in the right hand corner. I also pulled out these Chamel, what are they? Buttons, that's what they are. I was going to call them beads. But these Chamel buttons, and I'm thinking that I'm going to put some of these on here, and I do end up putting them on this layout, but I'm going to wait a little bit to do that. I'm gonna put the ampersand up there in the right hand corner with that bow. And here now I finally decide that I do want to do some spraying. And I'm going to dry that. And then I will finally glue down the whole layer with the photos and everything on it. So make sure that you go on over to Roni and Jennifer's channels, and I will leave links below so that you can find their channel and their videos easily, and watch their video. Let us know what you think of our layouts. That would be awesome. Okay, so back to the layout. Now here I'm going to start gluing down this top piece, and this is going to end up being my title. I'm just going to have the title be Hello, a Perfect Day. And so here now I'm going to glue the title down. Maybe sometime here. Apparently I wanted it to be completely perfect. I messed with that a lot. I'm doing some misting. And the Heidi Swap Color Shine, my favorite color is teal. So if you're new to my channel, you will see me use teal a lot. So now I'm going to pull out some of my Zots, and I'm going to glue down these wood veneer with those. I really like these arrows. I think that's my favorite part of this layout. I don't know. I'm kind of an arrow person. Even though I don't use them a whole lot, I really do like them. So this ampersand was giving me a hard time. The Zots didn't want to stick on it, and then when they did, they were like still showing because they were a little bit big, and so yeah, I had to pull out my mini Zots. Okay, so there I placed down the bow, and I'm really liking how this is turning out. I am going to add some of these Chamel buttons. I'm going to do 3 of them along, well, here I'm thinking I'm going to put them along the side, but then I decide to put them on the bottom there in the left-hand corner of the photo. Then I also put a yellow arrow up by the title. And I think that's all. Maybe not. Oh no, I pulled one off and I was thinking about putting it around the bow, but I didn't really like any of the positions that I tried. So here instead I'm going to put a couple up here at the very top. And now I'm going to use some of these cutout pieces, or layered pieces, sorry. I pull off 2 hearts, and I think that is pretty much it. I'm going to put the date. I'm looking on the photos because I write the date usually on one of the photos, but I had already thrown cut it off and thrown it away, so I had to pull it out of my trash. So here I am using my new Becky Higgins Project Life date stamp, And this one I like because it just has the date on it. The other rotary stamps that I have also have a saying to the left of it and then have the date to the right. And a lot of the times I don't use the saying that's to the right. So I was excited to find this stamp from Becky Higgins. So I'm just doing the date to the left of the photo, and I stamped it 3 times. I believe, I am going to do some journaling down there on that yellow tag. I'm just going to use a black journaling marker from, I think it's EK Tools is the one that I use. And I don't have the layout right in front of me, so I don't remember exactly what I write, but basically just we were having fun in the snow. So that is the layout. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.